Hi and welcome. This is not your typical video where I'm turning wrenches and repairing stuff and trying to build stuff. This is more a recap of 2024, the films I made and the fixes I did. Did I succeed? Did it work? And I will also talk about the channel and I promised when I reached 1000 subscribers I would do a Q&A. I did reach 1000 subscribers in September, I think it was, but I only got one question at the time, so there's nothing much to answer. So I've gotten a few more questions, so I will address them in this video. So first off, the first video I made in 2024 was Subaru Legacy removing steering gearbox. That was just a video. The plan with the video was to take the steering box out of the car and put it in my son's car. But during filming this I got a lot of problems. The lift got stuck, I had a time crunch, so there was so much going on. So I opted to just stop filming when the gearbox was out of the car and edit it and released it. So there's nothing much to to say about that video. The steering gearbox is in the car, my son's car, and it's working and steering and doing that steering thing. So in February, cleaning up after Hurricane Ingunn with and without music. I released two videos, one with music and one without music. And it surprised me that the one without the music had most viewers. Me personally, I like there to be music when there's no talking, and even if there's talking, a little bit music in the background. But apparently most viewed the film without music. The stats for those two videos: with music 774 views, which isn't much by any means, and without music 896, still not much, but yeah. And I got a little bit of problems with that video. YouTube sent me a message saying, hey, you have used copyrighted material, you can either take the video down, you can turn off the sound, or you can leave the sound and the video on YouTube, but you won't get any money of it. Apparently BBC and Top Gear had some copyright thing with that, so yeah. I like using video clips from Top Gear. Those guys are just fantastic, and especially if the scenes fit into my scene. So, but that's a risk you have to take, and I took it, and I'm glad I did, because each time I watch that video I start laughing, and I'm laughing very good of that video. So yeah. Then we had make your own snow removal tool for roof, cheap. Take a look at this. My homemade snow removal tool for roofs worked great. It was a little bit heavy, hence I used steel instead of aluminium, but it worked. But there was a flaw in the plan, namely me. What happened was that I tried to remove ice. It does not work. This is thin aluminum and it bends easily. So if I were to make this today, I would use round stock. 45 millimeters thick. A little bit heavy, but it all depends on how long you make it. And you can build extensions for the round stock. So, but other than that, this contraption worked great until it bent because of me forcing it. In March, yeah, repairing a block heater. Well, take a look. Some of you warned me that putting the block heater back in the tractor will make it leak. And I was worried about it too. Surprisingly, it did not leak. However, it started blowing fuses again. So I thought it had something to do with cleaning out the coolant system. So I scavenged the internet, Norwegian sale pages like Finn, equivalent to Blocket in Sweden, eBay, yeah, where you can buy used stuff or new stuff. And I found this for about 350 Norwegian kroners. Also on Marketplace I found this wire, this cable, and the charging cable I had from a prior installment. So I think it cost me around 900 Norwegian kroners, if it was that much. I'll put up the price on the screen. So I saved a good amount of money buying this from buying this private, because all the parts are new. They have not been used, but they are new old stock. Okay, so I replaced the block heater. I have not fixed the cable, I just use zip ties, because I will do this more proper when time comes and the tractor is ready for it. When I've replaced the cabin, I will make mounting brackets for both the block heater and the battery charger. So and also on and off switch for the battery. So I will make a bracket to mount somewhere to have everything in one place. So that's the plan on this. Well, the block heater works, it heats the engine. I'm happy. I also released a video called Volvo BM 500 replacing the thermostat. Let's see how that went. I went through a lot of trial and errors to find out why the engine was overheating. I replaced the thermostat and it still kept overheating. It looked like the thermostat I replaced was not good. It was supposed to open at 82 centigrade Celsius, but it opened at 92, I think it was. So it was overheating. And lots of you pointed out that in the video where I tested the thermostat. So the moral of that is new is not always good. So I ordered a thermostat that would open at 72 centigrade Celsius and replaced it while I was cleaning out the coolant system. We'll get back to that one. And yeah, I was anxiously waiting for the winter to try that, but then I figured out, well, summer is coming upon us and I will try to clean the coolant system. So more on that later. Late March I released Volvo BM 500 repairing a leaky steering fork. Well, let's have a look. It worked good. The fix, I mean, until it didn't. It started leaking this winter, and a viewer commented on the video saying that they had also replaced the O-ring and it started leaking. He also said that the service manual stated to use Loctite and an O-ring and also tighten it to, I think it was 130 to 160 Newton meters. Somewhere in that range. I only used a new O-ring, thinking that was enough. So this winter it started leaking very much. So I just had to put it in the garage and fix it. I cleaned everything, used Loctite, tightened it to 140 Newton meters. It was really difficult tightening it because I didn't have any leverage. And also I replaced the O-ring, and now it's not leaking, luckily, because if you get the hydraulic oil drips everywhere, it's not good. Also, it's a very expensive oil, so at least here in Norway it's very expensive. So yeah, I needed to fix that. And now it's not leaking at this moment. So that's a very good thing. In April, diagnosing a Mitsubishi mini split heat pump. Didn't go too well, did it? This is what's left from the heating pump. Nothing much. I could not fix it. I opted to tear it down and try to find a new to me pump, a used one. And I found one this summer. Dirt cheap, but the seller could not confirm that when it was taken down that they have turned the gas to the outside part and shut the system. So there's some uncertainties about that. So this winter I had a service technician coming in to give my heat pump, which I have in the house, a service. And prior to him coming, I talked with him on the phone and asked him how much he would charge me to mount a old pump. 6,000 Norwegian kroners, thank you. About what? It's too expensive. So I opted to not doing that. I don't have 6,000 to spend on that. So, but he came up with a suggestion after he had tested if there was any gas in the pump, and clearly there were pressure in the pump. So he said that, well, this is a candidate to mount. If it's a good candidate, we don't know. So his suggestion was to, when he is in the area, he could come in and connect the pump. If I mounted the inner part and the outer part and all the tubing, and also getting electricity for it. So he said that you fix those things, call me, and when I'm in the area I will come in here, hook everything up and we'll test it. Maybe it needs more gas, Freon, and if so, it's expensive. This is the old type, and it's very, very, very expensive. So we'll see. At the moment, I'm using a heater fan, a noisy heater fan, and it sucks electricity. It's very expensive using it. The increase in electricity bill is monumental. So having a mini split heater pump is a good idea to save money on electricity. So this one, for now, there's no heat pump in this garage, except for the one that's going to be mounted. In May, repairing a leaky Jungheinrich AM2000 pallet jack. The pallet jack is still working. I've used it several times and it's not leaking. So that's a successful story. As most of you subscribers noticed, this summer there were no videos. I had to do some repairs on the house. I had to re-insulate a wall and replace a window and a balcony door in that same wall. And when opening up the wall, I found several problems. So there were no videos made at the time because I had to prioritize re-insulating that wall. This is a bedroom which I haven't been able to use at all, because in the wintertime it gets so freaking cold in there. When it's 20 minus Celsius degrees outside, there's minus 6-7 Celsius degrees inside without having heat on. And normally you can leave the door closed and the window and the balcony door closed, and it will stay around 2 or 3 Celsius degrees in the room when it's fairly insulated. So I had to fix that, and also there was so much other things going on, and yeah, I had to prioritize the house. Then came August, and I released a video called Volvo BM 500 Renovation Part 5, Painting 2 out of 2, Video 2 out of 2. Let's have a look. I forgot to say, that ain't going nowhere when putting up the tent I used as a makeshift spray booth for painting this tractor cabin. A huge windstorm occurred one evening, lifting the tent, carrying it 10-15 meters, and just bent all the rods, the feet 90 degrees, destroying the tent. Yeah, so my plan was to paint all the parts. I had them prepped, and with the tent out of commission, I just no. So therefore the cabin was not finished, or the parts were not painted to go onto the cabin. I know I promised that this winter I was going to use this winter to mount the parts and make videos of it. It seems that every time I promise that, okay, I will do this, I will do that, it always fails, so I will stop doing that. But the cabin survived. There was a few nicks in the paint in the rear, but other than that, it went okay. So the cabin is still here, wrapped in shrinking plastic. Is that a word? So it's dry on the inside, I hope. I haven't seen any signs of rust from where I can see, like here. I cannot see any rust. So that's not rust, it's just a hole. So I will still continue working on this. I have to, because the state of the other cabin is just, oh, it's bad. It's really bad. The weight loss on that cabin is huge. So I will continue with this. And a viewer asked me some questions about the cabin, and I will address them later in the video. In October, I released a video Volvo BM 500 flushing the coolant system. Let's see how that went. In September, or was it August? I think it was August. I started the process of cleaning the coolant system. And I figured that when I'm doing it, I will do it properly. I will do it thoroughly. So I cleaned it and cleaned it and cleaned it, and I spent lots of money on buying this engine cleaner. Worked okay-ish, but nothing beats good old dishwasher powder. It was just great. And did it work? Did the overheating go away? Yes, it went away. If it had something to do with the new thermostat or cleaning it, I don't know. I did replace the thermostat to that thermostat that opens at 72 Celsius degrees. I think the engine might be too cold now. It runs too cold, I think. So I will try to see if a hotter thermostat will be better. It's not even in the middle temp when I'm working it hard with the snowblower, for instance. So yeah, cleaning it was a good thing. I did replace the coolant this winter when replacing the engine, the block heater, and the coolant that came out of it was almost black. So it still did a trick inside the engine and inside the radiator. So that's a good thing. So the engine runs cold air, perhaps a little bit too cold. I don't know. So that's a good thing. Great success! And finally, in December, I released a video called Volvo BM 500 Starter Repair Part 1. Now, I released Part 2 a couple of days ago. So if you want to watch Part 2, you will find out if I succeeded or not. So have a gander at that video. So there wasn't many videos released in 2024. I guess you have to prioritize. This video thing is just a hobby, and the more serious stuff has to be dealt with first. And now some analytics for the channel. My videos have had 70,154 views in 2024. That's not much. It's a very small channel. But for me, that's a lot. In the grand scheme of things, that's just a weeny, tiny drop in the ocean. And I gained 308 subscribers. Mostly of the Volvo BM paint video. It seems like the tractor videos is gaining a lot of attention, and that's very nice. So most video in 2024: how to refill the Thermostat gas cartridge, with 17,248 views. This video is the #1 video on my channel when it comes to views. It was the first video I released on the channel. I was just making it to show my friends and family how to save money by modifying a Thermostat gas cartridge, because those are expensive. And I also in the video, in the comment section, added a link to an adapter which makes it very easy to refill the cartridge. So if you want, have a look at that video. The next most viewed video is Volvo BM 500 renovation part 5, painting 2 out of 2, with 3,553 views. And the third is Volvo BM 500 renovation part 1, introduction. The renovation series, I was not supposed to make them. I figured it was too much work doing the camera work and all the manual labor and everything. But I jumped into it and it jump-started my channel, basically. So that was very good. But I am having problems keeping up with the work. I'll talk about that later. So who watches? Non-subscribers is 78.8%. Subscribers 21.2%. I wish there was more subscribers, but when monetized, it doesn't have anything to say how many subscribers you have. It's the views that counts. And in this instant, I really don't care about the monetization and the views and everything. I don't think about that. But it's a nice thing. It doesn't generate much money, and I'll talk more about that later. The countries that watches the channel is on first place Norway with 32.3%. Sweden with 30.7%, and then Germany, Finland, and Denmark. So we were talking about the monetization. So in order to get monetized, to get revenue from the videos, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public view hours. That's the minimum which you need. And in September I reached 1,000 subscribers. I do not recall when I reached 4,000 watch hours, but it's not important. So now that means that I can get money from the ads in the videos, but it doesn't generate much money. It's very little, especially as a small channel. You don't get much. So the revenue in 2024 was 1,512 Norwegian kroners, and then YouTube grabs their part, and then there's tax. So my part was 932 Norwegian kroners for 3 months, 3 or 4 months, I think. Yeah, 4 months. So not much. You won't get rich by being a YouTuber in this scale. I can promise you that. So in euros, that's 79 euros, and in dollars, it's $83 US dollars. So you won't get much money from this. The amount of money going out for creating videos is 2 or 3 times more than you gain when this channel is this small. And now for the Q&A. I promised when reaching 1,000 subscribers I would do a Q&A. I got one question, and I figured it's not enough. I need some more questions. So I've been waiting and waiting, and I've gotten a few more questions. So let's dig into them. There's a guy asking cat or dog, or maybe both or neither. Personally, I like dogs the best, he says. Well, both please. I like both cats, I like dogs. I've had 3 cats and 2 dogs. And my mom and my stepfather had 1 dog, and my father and my stepmother had several dogs, 3 or 4 dogs. So I really enjoy dogs, being around them, and they are great company. I had one of the cats I had was called Dio, and he was named after the magnificent vocalist Ronnie James Dio from Black Sabbath, Rainbow, and Dio, the band Dio. And a funny story about that cat: he was pitch black. And when I used to live in the city in Tromsø, we had a festival just 100, 200 meters away from where I lived. And the cat was very social. He loved people. And if he saw someone, he went over there and, hello, pet me. So this was back in 2010, and I think it was 2010. At this festival, Ozzy Osbourne was going to play. And rumors said that a black cat went into his dressing room backstage. And most of the people said that it was Dio. Now, Dio and Ozzy Osbourne was the singers in Black Sabbath. Different times, of course. Ozzy Osbourne is still the singer, the lead singer in Black Sabbath, but well, his health is not good. So the cat apparently went into the dressing room to Ozzy Osbourne. Dio went into the dressing room to Ozzy Osbourne. So I find that a little bit amusing. The dogs, they were rugged collies. One was, I had 1 male and 1 female. The female was a blue merle, and the male was a tricolor. His name was Ozzy, from Ozzy Osbourne. He was the most stupid dog you could ever imagine. But then again, he was the sweetest, gentlest spirit you ever meet. He was so kind, and he loved everyone, and he was never aggressive, always a happy chap, and yeah, a really good dog. Same with the female. Her name was Luna. She was, I adopted her. She was the half sister to Ozzy, and those two together was like sweethearts. They were in love with each other. They always laid with their backs to each other, and they cuddle up to each other. 2 sweet dogs, very kind. Unfortunately, I had to give them away. I had to move out of the apartment. There were no place where I can get the dogs with me and have them living with me. So because I had to rent a flat, so there was it was a really hard time. Both of the dogs are unfortunately gone. Ozzy had to be put down because of his joints in the elbows were stiffening, and he had a lot of pain. He came to a really good home. He was extremely afraid of cats. And I remember he never looked at my cats. His eyes did not meet the cat's eyes. In his new home, they had a giant cat. What's the race? Maine Coon. And they become best buddies. I'm so happy about that. So, well, Luna, unfortunately, I think the story with her was that she was run over by a tow truck. And also she had shown signs of being a little bit aggressive. So, well, if I were to get another dog, again, it would be rough collies. They are so sweet dogs. So, yeah, lots of hair, but I love that race. Okay, enough of the cats or dogs. I would like both. Then there's a guy who's asking, when will your new cab be placed on the tractor? Well, there's an easy answer to that, and that is when it's finished, when it's ready to go onto the tractor. And I can't promise when that will happen. So, yeah. And there's a reason for me taking a long time on the tractor cabin. First off, I ran out of steam. I got tired of all that project. It takes a lot of effort working on it. There's a lot of things that has to be done. And I don't like painting in particular. So, and I don't like rust. I'm sick and tired of it. So, and also with the diagnosis that I have, fibromyalgia, it makes it difficult to do things in the everyday situation. And I have to take breaks a lot of the time. My body runs out of energy. I get exhausted, and it's not like I ran a mile marathon. No, it's like I ran 70,000 miles marathon. I can rest for a day, doesn't matter. I can rest for a week, no, maybe 2 weeks. Sometimes I give it 1 week and I just chug along. One of the dumb thing I did in my past was I was tired, I was exhausted, but I kept pushing on. And I regret doing that. I did not listen to my body, and now I have this. Most likely I have had the fibromyalgia since 2003. That's when I started experiencing the symptoms. So also I get enormous pain in the joints, especially the small joints, and the muscles, cramps. Yeah, it's a shitty diagnosis, but I have it and I have to do the best of it. So laying down doesn't help much. So the tractor, the cab will be placed on the tractor when it's finished, and I won't give any more promises that I will do this in the next video and I will do this in the next video when we are talking about the cabin, because it always seems to go down south. The same guy is asking, will the loader be removed from the machine? Yes and no. It will be removed when I'm going to split the tractor to replace the clutch. And it will be off until the part, the undercarriage is painted. And that's also an answer for your next question. Will you renovate the whole machine, or is it just the cabin? I will try to do the undercarriage too. I figure that when I've gone this far, why not try to do the best of it? I'm not sure how much I will do. I won't give any promises, but the loader will be removed to do that work, and it will be back on the tractor when it's finished. So, yeah, that was the questions. Well, that seemed to be it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will link all the videos in the description down here. And yeah, if you like to subscribe, please do. If you like to hit the like button, please do. And do ring the bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Well, that's a big pile of steel. Underneath here there's I-beams, there's square tubing, there's a lot of steel. And why did I get this? I got it for free, by the way. Steel for several tens of thousand Norwegian kroners here, and I got it for free. So what's the thought process getting this? Well, I need something to lift off the cabin from the tractor and to lift the new cabin and put it on the tractor when that time comes. So my thought was to build a gantry crane. But not a gantry crane that I'm going to use in the garage, because the garage is, the ceiling height is not there. It's too low. So I will make a gantry crane that I can use outside in uneven surfaces, so I can roll it. So I will be putting on 14-inch tires so I can roll it on the gravel and uneven surface. And by using that gantry crane, lifting off the cabin and putting it back on. I'm not a welder, so I don't know when I'm going to do it and how I'm going to do it. I'll guess I do like I always do, just winging it. So a gantry crane has to be built, and I will try to build it so that I can disassemble it and transport it if necessary, and just putting it up using bolts. So yeah, I have some farmer friends that need that kind of equipment sometimes, and yeah, it will be a good thing to have in store.